They discover a coffin hidden in a wall of an old hotel when they want to remodel their rooms. This incredible story that would happen in the 80s when suddenly, while wanting to remodel a room, the workers discovered a large coffin. Ancient and very old, but they realized only later that the authorities had it in their possession, that in reality it did not have any body but was full of pure gold. Here, this great, incredible, true story. This great story begins in a great hotel in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. From 1930, Luis Morales began the remodeling of the house, built 2 more floors and covered its facade with tizantal, giving it a neo-colonial touch. Don Luis married Ana Maria Orendain, and they had an only daughter, Carmen. Given the bullfighting passion of Mr. Morales, this well-made hotel opened its doors to all people related to the world of bullfighting at that time. The El Progreso bullring stood proudly in front of Auspicio cabins. So once the task was finished, the grateful public carried the bullfighter on a litter from the doors of the bullring to the doors of the Hotel Morales. This magical and festive attracted many personalities to stay at this hotel, from writers to politicians, from singers to the great figures of bullfighting and Mexican gold cinema, such as Pedro Infante, Jorge Negrete, and of course Maria Felix. Don Luis died in 1964 and his wife Anita stayed behind in front of the hotel, but due to the demolition of the bullring and the deterioration of the historic center of the city in 1974, he decided to sell the property to some investors who left it to dust, waiting for better times. It was around this time of 1980 when the new investors decided to do some renovations to continue with that great facility. Some workers were demolishing a wall that was inside the room with the number 226, the room that we have here behind us. When we are rebuilding this room, they begin to demolish one of the sidewalls, and then one of the workers notices that a large and very strange object begins to appear as the work progresses, when suddenly they realized that the more they removed the brick, they saw a piece of wood that did not match the wall nor had nothing to do there. After a few minutes, they realize what appears to be a coffin. The workers, full of dismay and amazement, run to tell their engineer. They sensed that something serious was happening. When the engineer arrives, he is also amazed and orders among several men. They take that coffin very carefully out of there at the same time that they talk to the corresponding authorities to notify the owner of the hotel of such a discovery. Obviously, this character also poses obviously missed. Call his master builder his project director, and he lets him know in disbelief what he had before his eyes at that moment, because he knew that the matter was very delicate. They are not going to involve the hotel or other people when suddenly, upon arriving, the authorities pray for such a discovery and ask them to sign several documents to demarcate responsibilities and verify the facts. Well, everyone thought that there was an old body inside that coffin, or it is not known what would be the most normal thing after a long time and wear and tear, and several signatures from one of the owners and the engineers and bricklayers. A police officer decides to open that coffin, and there they realized that in reality there was no body, but that incredibly there were gold ingots, coins, and various objects inside, all of pure gold. That coffin was full. Everyone did not understand what was happening, and at that moment is when they emerged the differences, because the municipal authorities in charge claimed that coffin with everything inside as there, since everyone had already signed a waiver and responsibilities, and now that coffin by law belonged to the government. The owner of the hotel obviously tried to claim, but they could no longer do anything, and after attempts at convincing, nothing could be solved, and the government and authorities only gave some coins and gold objects to everyone present as a consolation prize or something like that, and the entire coffin was taken away by the government. No one knows and no one knew what was done with that gold, which was actually several kilos. And the owner, the workers who were the ones who had rictus and face shapes so impressive that they couldn't believe it, were never made known or publicized about such an event. Gold bars, gold coins. Small objects in gold and silver contained that was gold. It was a small treasure that no one knew where, in what historical line was it introduced to that wall. And precisely in a coffin in 2003, after 30 years of silence and abandonment, a group of Spanish visionaries bought the Morales building and its annex, the old Viceregal Hotel, with the intention of rescuing them. After 2 years of remodeling, they managed to recover this great architectural jewel. and heritage of the city for the enjoyment of Guadalajara and tourists. Currently, the Morales Hotel is indisputably the best hotel in the historic center of the city of Guadalajara, which protects within its walls an endless number of stories that have only been forgotten for many, where you can visit this great hotel when you are in our beautiful Guadalajara. This is this great true story. If you liked it, please give us a like and subscribe. See you soon.